I will be refuting the claim that we should be minimizing the government involvement in space exploration. So my first point is refuting your claim that we should decrease funding for NASA, is that even though we are spending $19 billion on NASA, that's actually a very small percentage of our national government spending. According to NASA's fiscal year of 2017 budget estimates, the US government provided $19 billion to advance NASA's space exploration plan and ensure that the United States remains the world's leader in space exploration, aeronautics research, and scientific discovery for years to come. So this is showing that the government believes it's worthwhile to spend $19 billion on NASA because they're going to be providing these great services for us. And even though $19 billion may sound like a lot, according to the federal budget in 2017, the national government spent $4 trillion in 2017 total. This means that the percentage that the government spent on NASA was only 0.475% of the national spending, which is not a lot. So I would suggest that even though $19 billion sounds like a lot, when we look at it in the context of how much money the national government actually spends, the NASA spending should not be our biggest concern. In fact, the US government has a mandatory amount of spending that they must spend on NASA because they believe it's such an important thing for our government to have. And this is according to the fiscal year 2017 budget estimates. And the budget includes $763 million in paid for mandatory investments because NASA's programs are critical to building durable economic growth and maintaining America's edge as the leader in innovation and cutting-edge sciences. So the US government clearly thinks that NASA is a very important element of our research and believes that it's important for us to spend a lot on them. Now, some people do believe that we are spending too much on NASA, but that's mainly because they believe that the NASA budget is a much larger percentage of what the actual budget is. According to Mary Lynn, in a Sustaining Exploration, Communication, Relevance, and Value study, people believe that NASA's allocation on average was estimated to be 24% of the national budget, which, as I've previously shown, is very inaccurate. But this brings me to my second point. Even though people believe that NASA was much more expensive than what it actually is, they still supported it. According to a Pew Research survey in 2011, 58% of Americans said that it is essential that the U.S. Be a world's leader in space exploration, and Americans have a favorable opinion of NASA. In January of 2015, a survey said that 68% of Americans expressed a favorable view of NASA. So not only does the US government believe that NASA is vital, but the American public also believes that NASA is vital. And this is backed up by the huge advancements that NASA has made. According to the top 10 breakthrough NASA achievements of all time, which is a list that was compiled in 2015, the Hubble Space Telescope the flight to Jupiter, which was Pioneer 10, and sending a earthly robot to Mars, which is the Mars Pathfinder, and being able to live in space, which was the International Space Station, were some of the largest accomplishments of NASA. So clearly NASA is achieving many of their goals and doing well with these funds. Furthermore, if we privatize space, then the private industries don't have the same noble goals that NASA has. According to the SpaceX company, their ultimate goal is enabling people to live on other planets. So their main goal is to enable people to live on other planets. They don't focus on education and improving our economy and many of the other things that NASA supports. NASA's mission, according to the NASA Strategic Plan of 2018, is to lead an innovative and sustainable program of exploration with commercial and international partners to enable human expansion across the solar system and bring new knowledge and opportunities back to Earth. Their mission is much more humanitarian and more about bringing back knowledge and improving our society. Furthermore, you said that we should be spending on education, but NASA is actually bringing about the discoveries that can be taught in education.